Welcome back to Adventures with Bam. I'm Brent Billings.
And I'm Maggie Billings.
And this episode has Maggie recounting her tales from the ranch.
Tales from the ranch. So, yeah, I think we talked in a couple episodes ago about how I was...
Oh, yeah. By the way, you may have noticed there wasn't an episode last week. If you're hearing this now, there is an episode from last week. I just couldn't get everything done.
Couldn't hack it.
While Maggie was gone.
It was a crazy week. Yeah, so went over to the ranch with my mom. As discussed, it is quite a drive. My mom and I talked the whole drive. The whole drive. Like, I'm actually surprised that I didn't have a sore throat. Because I don't ever...
I was going to say. I was like, I'm not surprised at all to hear that.
But yeah, I've never done that whole... I've never like raw dogged the whole drive with no music. Like, that was wild, but it was great. My mom and I are very close and have a lot to talk about and a lot to catch up on, and pretty rare. I mean, last time she and I did that drive, well, no, that's not true. I went out with my dad, but last time it was just me and her. No, can't, my brain. Couple summers ago, drove out with my mom. You took our car and I rode with my mom and the boys in the back seat. And they are adorable and have questions and things to say about every 14 seconds for 12 hours. So we didn't have that this time. So just speaking uninterrupted was such a treat. So yeah, the drive went by super quickly. And the trip was just really good. It was... My grandma is one of 5 siblings. She's the oldest of 5, and she is the last living one. So she had 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Her sister, Evelyn, had been in, I believe, North Dakota for years, and she has 3 daughters. So these are my mom's cousins, and they all came out too for a visit at the same time. And I had met 2 of them when we went out last year for the funeral of their other sister, Ree. So, but it was really great to visit with them and get to know them more and hear more stories from like their childhood and what they remember of visiting the ranch and what they remember of their mom. And I think just the similarities and differences between my grandma and her siblings. That was really wonderful to hang out with them. I feel like the theme of the visit was just women caring for each other across generations. Like we took my grandma to a doctor's appointment the morning after we arrived. So we drove like 600 miles or whatever, 500 from Coeur d'Alene, I think it is, and got in late Wednesday night, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thursday morning got up and drove 4 hours back in the other direction because the doctor that my grandma would like to see for some stuff is in Great Falls, Montana. So it would be like my family in Coeur d'Alene driving to Seattle for doctor's appointments. Like but to them, it's like, oh, everything's far away. So, what's a 4-hour drive?
Right.
It's something, but it's not as insane over there. So yeah, so it was me and my mom and my aunt Sue drove my grandma back to Great Falls for that appointment. And it was like wonderful. I think like we were all so excited to be together. So the mood was already kind of good. And it was just one of those things where like, well, let's just get there and we'll see what the doctors say. And long story short, grandma needs surgery. So she's getting surgery this week. They had openings coming up pretty quick. So grandma's getting her gallbladder taken out day after tomorrow when we record this. So hopefully that will go well. But the surgeon is very optimistic and hopeful that she will recover well. And yeah, so we'll see what goes on there. But yeah, I think morale was just up even more after that appointment, and everyone's feeling very hopeful. So getting to go back to the ranch and spread the good news was great. But yeah, we just had hanging out with grandma, and then there's, like I said, grandma's siblings have all passed, but she does have a sister-in-law. So the wife of one of her brothers is still living, and she lives by herself also. And like, man, these women are so tough. But when you're in your like late 80s and 90s, living by yourself can get a little dicey. So just kind of watching the way these women function and the way they check in on each other at the ranch was really beautiful. They were like, well, let's go check on Pat, see how she's doing, and get there and like let's make sure she's eating, and let's make like, and then getting home, and the next day someone saying like, oh, Pat said she was going to go outside, but we got to check on her. So watching my cousin like grab the phone and call Pat like, oh, you made it inside. Okay, good. But I don't know. It was just a really beautiful experience to see. I think it's encouraging and empowering for me to watch these women, these elderly women, live kind of like independently. I mean, I've talked about it before. I'll say it again. My grandma acts like she's 30 years younger than she is. She still has a huge garden. Like we were out picking carrots the morning I left.
Brought home a huge bag of
I brought
carrots.
home, and that was nothing. I mean, we picked so many carrots.
I was like, what
there.
are these? Are we bringing this home? Yeah, I picked those at my grandma's house this morning.
Like these are sacred carrots. We need to freeze them, and I don't know.
Did you freeze them?
No. I'm hoping we'll use them up before that is necessary. But yeah, Grandma's got a huge garden, and she definitely, it's not like she has no one. I mean, my aunt and uncle live 100 feet away. Their house is right there. So they're always checking on her and stuff. But she's pretty independent woman and just so sharp. I mean, you'd talk to her and you'd have no idea that she's as old as she is. And it was funny. The cousins were talking about how wow, she remembers, we never heard these stories from our mom. So it's cool to, hear them from your grandma, and how my mom was saying they don't change either. Like her details are dialed in because we've heard her, tell the same stories a handful of times over the last couple of years, and the story's not changing. So
that's very good.
It is good. Yeah. So yeah, it was just a really sweet time. I wasn't sure because, there's some health concerns. But hopefully those, doctors are hopeful that she could be all right. She could have more time, and that's what we want. We want more time with Farmer Grandma. So yeah, it was a great visit. I'm so glad I got to go out. It was lots of fun just sitting and hearing stories and writing stuff down and recording. I recorded some of her talking and telling stories too, Brent. You'd have been proud of me.
There you go.
So it was a great time.
Nice work.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for holding the fort so I could do it.
My pleasure.